Hi, I'm GBs, and I played Subtractem's Fire Trap Frost Blink Elementalist so that you don't have to. But you probably should. It's pretty good, to be honest with you. I'm one of the idiots that was bitching on Reddit during, like, I don't know, day 3 or 4 of the league, just because I just wasn't having a good time. And I was shit-talking it, and then I went to bed that night, and I went, did I really give it a fair try? And at that point, I had played a lot, but I didn't feel like I gave it, like, I don't feel like I was doing the guy a good service. So went back, I watched some more, I watched a little bit of his Twitch, and then this is kind of what I've come up with after about a week of playing it. I, in the background, have a couple of messy clips, and I say messy because I couldn't figure out the recording stuff. I've never done this before, but just a couple of clips show how I handles like Delirium, some Essence, and then just regular Alcan Go, tier 14, tier 16 type maps. Nothing crazy. I'm not sitting here killing bosses or nothing, but just a couple of background clips to keep it going. Quick background, I'm a shit player who normally plays SSF, but I wanted to mess around and trade a bit, so just kind of see how it goes. It seemed like easy gear progression based on the videos, and it looked like it played like pretty well and a lot of fun. The good, when it works, it's nuts, kind of, for, you know, just like how little gear I have, and I'm saying little in quotations here, because I realize I'm talking to trade guys who, like, fucking, their idea of good and bad is completely different than mine. But I do have my 3 Void Stones, which is, you know, cool, and I'm sure a better player could kill Maven. I'm just not that player. I just keep selling off my stuff to just get more currency whenever. Most of my Atlas is done. I am missing a few, but that's mostly because I'm lazy and don't feel like buying maps, or I'm sure there's like a few ones here, and that's just really what it is. Can't really complain when you have most of your Atlas filled on your starter, and you've been, you know, attending class and going to work and doing all that stuff and what have you, and still get a lot done. Which, for the record, I have 3 days, 5 hours, and 46 minutes, which is actually a fuck ton, but a lot of it's also AFK while I'm like doing dishes and cooking dinner and what have you. Aside from that, it's fucking fun, man. Like, you just zoom around, you just jump, and then you dash, and it's cool. It feels a lot like, I don't know how many players are around from this era, but it feels a lot like when you were playing Tri-Herald Blade Vortex with stat sticks. You know, you jump in and blow up the pack, and then you just keep fucking schmoving, and that's a lot of fun, right? Like, you really can't ask for a whole lot more than that. It feels great when it works. It's mostly fun, but then there's some bad, and this is where I think there's a little bit of a disconnect. When it doesn't work, it feels awful. Like, if you get stunned, it feels like shit. When you don't have any ailment immunity and you get chilled or hit with the ensnaring slow or whatever, dude, it feels like fucking dog, dude. You're just sitting there and you miss, like, let's say you miss and your fucking cooldown's like 30, what feels like 30 minutes, dude, feels real bad. And then to top that off, like, dude, the defenses were rough. Up until I got this Storm Shroud, I mean, and shit, what's that even going for right now? 7.8 divines, which fucking sweet, dude. I bought it when it was 4, so I'm rich, I guess. I don't know. Up until I got that, it felt awful, dude. And his video called it. Like, I'm normally a champion or a jug or a trickster, something that's just inherently tanky when I play. Having to grab, like, not only, you know, your spell suppression, but then also grabbing some armor and then some evasion, and then, you know, when you got the spell suppression, also get yourself a little bit of chaos resistance, and then hopefully you get some stun avoidance, and you know what I mean? Like, all that normally comes built in with everything else, or at least with every starter I've ever played, and it's like, this is not necessarily the case. At least he doesn't directly address it, which that's more on me not understanding that as a dummy than it is on him not presenting it. It's, you know, it's whatever. The onus is on me there. It's not and I don't know, and that's kind of where I think, like, the disconnect happened, right? Like, Subtractem's really fucking smart, guys. Like, that's just what it is, and he grasps when he plays this game different than we do, like noobs or people that follow guides or whatever, right? I've played a lot, but it is what it is. We see a POB, we get the gist, we go, okay, me smork, me go kill monsters or whatever, and then you try and emulate it to the best of our ability. But it's not a matter of like, oh, he has evasion here, I'll get evasion here, levels of following guides. But I do kind of need to be explicitly told, like, hey man, like, spell suppression, you're gonna want it, dude. You're gonna want it. And see, I don't know, man. He puts out a skeleton and he's expecting you to kind of put the ligaments and the flesh on and the skin and everything, and that's how he approaches builds. It's like, I got the skeleton, I'll figure out the rest. I'm a big dummy, dude. I need to be told exactly what we're doing, right? Because that's just what it is. I'm a brain off kind of guy. I like to come home, hit the little trippy stick, and then just turn off my brain. I know that's not what PoE is, but that's just how I like to play it. When you say, oh, you can use, you could put, you could put burning damage on there, maybe some fire damage spells, or dot multi, or it's all good, man. Just grab something. It's like, dude, I don't know the hierarchy, and I'm not even good enough at PoB to find this out like quickly without having to put in each stat and go, one is worth this, and then look at the weight and whatever. I understand that that's kind of what you're supposed to do, but me big dummy, right? We're back to me smork, me go face. Like, that's just what it is. And full confession, I bitched on Reddit, and I know he saw it because I saw him talking about like how I talked about how it's just a witch. When I bitched, though, to his defense, I had 157 deaths. I'm at 137 now, which is 80, which sounds like a lot, but that's just me trying to learn how to play the game, if I'm being honest. It's a lot of like going around on the sides of the packs and stuff, and just going with that. It's a lot of deaths, but it's gone down a lot since like that's half of, my first, like, I don't know, 90 levels or whatever, that's on me again. And additionally, like, to his credit, I'm sure there's some disconnect on what I'm supposed to be running. I know, for instance, that he doesn't path up here, right, to get, what is that, 5 nodes, 2 through 4, yeah, 5 nodes to get Eldritch Battery. I know that his staff or stick or whatever, it's got the cool thing where it's got Eldritch Battery on it, and that's cool, and I just don't know if I want to put the money in for that. There's stuff like that. I'm not running the Malevolence Blessing, which is like a huge DPS upgrade, and you'll see the tier 16 mobs die like 38 times faster when you have that on there. Because, I don't have Eldritch Battery, but I wanted all the auras so that I could stay alive. So I'm running Vitality, Clarity, what do I got? Flesh and Stone, Determination, and Skitterbots. So I'm tapped out here, you know what I mean? And that's even with a little level 3 Enlighten here. So, I mean, and that's with the Grace too on the 30% mana reservation. So it's just like I'm trying to get every little bit, and even then it's still like it doesn't take very long before I run kind of out of mana. So it's fine. It's fine. I'm sure with Eldritch Battery this would feel a lot better. But again, this is like where the disconnect is on his guide and how it plays. Especially, and I haven't, but I know a lot of my friends are people that are coming from like Pokes, who's got like a million fucking guides on how to run RF for even the most brain dead of idiots, or Zizzering guides, which nowadays isn't necessarily the same, but Zizzering guides are normally pretty thorough. And so his definitely had a big focus on like, look guys, it's like a lot of fun, you guys should play my build, and you should. It is a lot of fun, and it is a good build. It's obviously a good build. Like, Ben was running it, dude. Like, it's a good build. He ripped because of some other shit, not because the build was bad. He died because of how stupid Crucible is. So talking about my gear, I have a little bit of gear. I don't know, I would wager that total I've probably spent like 12 to 15 divines, and I recognize that I am not market savvy and I don't know what's worth what. But I found stuff like this, which is actually, it seems pretty good. This is, from my understanding of the build, this seems good. I could be wrong. I know that I want burning damage and damage over time multi and stuff like that. This seemed good to me. I paid like 60 chaos for it on like day 2. Pretty good. Other weapon, not as good. Just some fire, some burning, and +1 gems. That's really all I have there. I don't know, that's probably like not even a divine. This, I couldn't figure out. He showed how to craft it. I couldn't figure it out. I'm too dense, dude. But it's got the inflict exposure, although not great, and it's got the dot multi on it, also not great. And it also has the more damage over time. I have the evasion on there so that I can get, as part of my defenses, I have, where is it? This thing, right? So if you have all of everything has evasion, then you get 15% spell chance, or spell suppression chance. My chest piece is garbage, but it has a corrupted 6-link on day 1, and honestly haven't changed it. I think I saw that Subtractem is running, I think it's a 3rd green, and I think instead of combustion, he's running deadly elements or something. I'd have to double check. I don't know. I know that this isn't good. I know I want better. And then the problem is that what I saw, what he linked was like crazy chess pieces that I didn't understand how to get or craft or whatever, and then Skin of the Lords, obviously. And then honestly, I was thinking maybe even like, honestly, I feel like if I wasn't so reliant on the resistance right here, I would just grab, and not only that, the spell suppression too, I guess, through the node, but I would probably grab a Tabula that's been corrupted and then just run it with the life mastery to get the 15% life and just call it a day. And then, so this is 50% chance to be shocked. That was the only reasoning behind it. It seemed okay, and it's got some stuff on it. I might even throw an exalt on it. Who cares? Whatever. Same thing with this. Life, shocked, whatever. I'd love to have some other stuff on there. I don't feel like investing in there. Okay. Anyways, back to the gem. I'd like to change it. I'm not sure exactly how much I'm willing to spend for it, and I don't really know how much I care as long as it has the avoid being shocked on there. My boots I recognize are both good and bad. Life suppression, resistances, all bad rolls or whatever, and move speed. Can't ask for much more. I got the ignites to do a little bit more damage, and then I'm sick and tired of being stunned, so I decided I'm going to stop being stunned a little bit, and I put just the 20%. I didn't put it there. I wasn't like, oh, let me get that. It just was there, and I was like, fuck it, that seems good. I bought this like day one, maybe spent like 20 chaos on it. It's whatever. What is that? Like 48 resistance and then some life and then strength to help with the offsets. Oh no, it's actually 78 resistance. And then, you know, I put the Elrond craft on there. Same thing with this thing. Honestly, just some fire damage, the strength or whatever, some life, some chaos reds. I feel like that's an okay ring. It's not great. It's not bad. 50 chaos, whatever. I had a hard time struggling if this was worth it. I don't know if damage over time multi plus the fire skill gems and 50 max life and some resistance or whatever was worth the one divine, but it didn't matter because I just bought it anyways. And then I put the Whispers of Doom on there because, you know, POB said that it would be 25% better or something like that. The helmet, grabbed the regular old helmet. I just was looking for any kind of mana reservation efficiency, and that's what that is. And the reason I was looking for the mana reservations, I'm sure I'll talk about my resistances, or rather all my defenses. And that's really my gear. I don't have anything crazy. I don't have a bottled faith or whatever the fuck he uses. The taste of hate. I don't have all that. I didn't even put the orbs on here. None of these are percent. Like none of these have their glass blowers on it. Like you know, we'll just fix that now. I guess I've been running this enough. Like this definitely deserves its $5 or whatever the fuck it is. 5 chaos worth of glass blowers. But yeah, my gear's not great, but it's not bad. It's more than I thought I would have to invest for the way it was presented, but it wasn't like some astronomical request to get this gear either, right? I'm a mediocre player and I still got it. So that's my gear. So, I mean, honestly, overall with, what do I have? Like fucking 80 hours on this thing or whatever it is, like some insane amount. Yeah, that's a lot of playtime. We'll probably call it 70 hours, but even with that much, I would say it's a lot of fun, good success.